Hello and welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at Bitcoin mining stock technical analysis, as well as other crypto leading indicators. So let's start off with fear and greed. And CNN, we are back down into neutral territory. Remember, these are stocks, even though they are correlated with crypto. And on pie vesting, getting down towards the neutral territory as well. As far as crypto, we did just hit 90 yesterday. We still are in extreme greed. And as long as we stay up in extreme greed for crypto, I think that will be a very bullish sign in the near term. Just going back over the last year, you can see that when we had a spike in extreme greed and then started coming back down, that was a local top. But if we zoom out, you can see that when in the last cycle, when crypto did get up to one of those first highs, there was the double top in April and then November. It stayed up in extreme greed. And this time, what was happening here is Bitcoin was getting above in December 2020, it was getting above the all time high in 2017. And that's what's happening right now is that the price is consistently staying above the all time high and going higher. So we did have an alt season there. That is something you want to keep in the back of your mind just in case we have one coming soon by March. I'm not saying that is going to happen. I have some doubts, but we do have to be ready just in case. And something to watch for in that situation would be Bitcoin dominance. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is at around 60%. And what that means is 60% of all money in crypto is in Bitcoin. When that money rotates into other assets like Bitcoin miners, altcoins, that's when you can see things really pop off. As far as the alt season index, still a macro high or low. Right now, we'd expect to see this hold. So the fact that we are seeing this sideways action, and it is technically a high or low, even though it's in line here. So maybe you could all say a double bottom, getting ready to pop off. Maybe we are getting near the time where opportunities to buy into altcoins before they explode, that time might be running short. Maybe. We'll see. We'll take a look at the prices and the indicators. We're still in the yellow zone. Subscribe if you want to hear more macro content on the Bitcoin rainbow chart. I go over Coinbase coins, the stock market too, how that impacts crypto. Let's go over to Bitcoin dominance, and then we'll get into the miners. So Bitcoin right now, it is heading towards this 9,500K area, making another all-time high today in the 94K range. So yeah, right now we're still in all-time high territory. Would I be buying Bitcoin right now? No, it's at a premium. I'd be buying it. I look for, at least as a dollar cost average investor, I look for it when it's at more of these macro moving averages, something like the 50, 100, 200. Wasn't popular buying back here. People were calling for 12K. To me, it didn't matter. It was still at those lower values. But a couple things I want you to see here. The trend line Bitcoin's been in love with since the bottom. It is back up to it. And that trend line goes to about 92, 93K by the end of the year. We have the double top from 2021 going up to this area of 97K. And then there's also this fib extension. When you draw a fib from the high to the low, take it off a log scale, we have the 1618 at almost 102K. So a lot of convergence right there at the 102K area. So if things continue to be bullish, I could see 102K being hit by the end of the year. I do have this little nugget of information that when Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, which it did in March, the average of prior cycles when it makes a new all-time high to the next peak is 300 days. So again, it's just an average. It's not a prediction. A strategy is more important than a prediction, but that would put all this convergence between 94 and 102K being at the end of the year. And then we see what happens. Maybe we get a local top and a correction for half a year. Maybe we see it go up. If we do correct for half a year, something to note is that there is this phenomenon known as the inauguration dump, where we pump after the election and then go down sideways for half a year. This would favor the 4-year cycle that we've had before. You could see 4 years between tops. However, we did have this altcoin cycle top that happened earlier because of all the money printing last cycle. So if we're getting a 4-year cycle from there, then we could top by March, which would be in line with the average from the bottoms to the next peak. So something to keep in mind. As far as Bitcoin dominance, it's still going up. What we would need to see for miners to really explode is this right here. Again, that rotation from all the money in Bitcoin into miners. And you can see this can happen quick. It only takes a month or two. And if that were to happen, then we'd just be seeing straight down. I have doubts about that because last 2 cycles after it made a bottom coming down from a peak, you can see it formed a base, one last peak, then drop. After it made a peak, formed a base, one last peak, then drop. Not saying it can't just go straight down. Maybe that happens. Maybe that's the different thing that happens this time. However, I'm leaning more towards the 4-year cycle route, but we do have to be open-minded. If it starts getting down under you can see what Bitcoin dominance is like, this 20-week moving average. If it gets under that, I will be telling you guys, and I'll say, do be cautious here because maybe alt season time is coming. So that'd be around the 57, 58%. So subscribe. I'll keep you guys up to date on that. But for myself personally, I can see it getting up to 62%. So be aware of those factors, and let's get into the mining stocks. And what do we have here for Mara? So last week we talked about how a lot of the mining stocks were hitting key resistances right in line with Bitcoin getting into new all-time highs. Bitcoin continues to push into all-time high, but we haven't really pushed through those resistances. So Mara had this 618, had this trend line. You can see it's back down to this $20 mark. I would like more of a dollar cost average discount down here, anywhere by the moving averages. We have the 50, 100, 200.5, obviously down here. So this is like max discount territory. When you're down here, this is where I would start looking at it. But in your mind, if you believe in Mara, you believe it's one of the altcoins, Bitcoin mining stocks that's going to pop off and do something like a 5X, then you don't care. You can buy it here. Just know you're not buying it at a discount. I like the dollar cost average in at a discount. Been doing that the whole cycle. However, as we get into the post-halving year, and you guys can see this reflected on the sorry, my brain's still waking up here. On the rainbow chart, you can see that when things start pumping, we rarely look back. So we may be getting in that territory where the discounts aren't going to be there quite as often. So if you're like, you know what, heck with it, I believe in it, just know you're taking an added risk. But I myself, I've already been buying in. I'm okay with being patient. And if it gets down here, I would buy more. But right now, it's not quite there. But if you're worried about missing it, and you have to believe in this stock, you have to believe in what you're buying. If you're buying it up here and you're not going to buy it down here because you're sad it went down, you shouldn't be buying it in the first place. So do your homework. Riot, it is in this downward channel, and as you can see, it's right at the 200-week moving average. Wasn't able to get out of the channel, and now it has that moving average. So right here, I'd say, maybe the beginning of dollar cost average area. I would expect to see some sort of bounce around the 3.2 and the 100-week moving average. And Riot's one of these, we got this trend line of these peaks that it hit cycle top 2017, cycle top all season 21. Can Riot all of a sudden explode somewhere? Wouldn't this be ridiculous? Up to like 150 and do a 10x? I don't know. But if it got 130 or higher, I'd say definitely profit-taking area, and we are in alt season. So would you care if you're getting at $12 or $11? Probably not. But again, is Riot something you believe in? And if it goes lower, will you buy more? If not, you shouldn't buy it. So Riot, maybe the beginning of discount area, but not much of a discount. So looks like these miners, they've hit local tops, but then have come down. Maybe they're getting ready for that rotation of Bitcoin dominance. You can see here, CleanSpark, after it came up and hit all this price action back here, I'm sure there's volume over there. If we turn on an indicator, it's coming back down. So maybe we'll come back down to the 618 Fibonacci level, and we have all the moving averages right here. So if it does come down to the $12 to $10 mark, that's discount territory. But again, we're not too far away from it. So if you like CleanSpark, it's an okay area to buy as it gets near this fib. If it gets there and you're willing to be patient, then hey, you're getting at more of a discount. Let's go over to Cypher. So we're seeing some bit of pullbacks on these miners from those little peaks, but they are looking like maybe they're getting ready to blast off. Cypher looking the best out of all of them so far, encountering some resistance at the 786, and you can see the 200 week moving average just spawning in. That's how young it is. So if it does get down to this 480 level to 380 in there, good discount level. But right now, if it starts to break above the 786, all we have left is a channel and the former all-time high, and then away we go. So being a $2 billion market cap, something to think about is the market cap for the best mining stocks last cycle. The market cap was between 20 to 30 billion at its peak. So we're talking a 10x. Should it be like one of those? This time around with inflation, I wouldn't be shocked if organically the market cap is higher because our dollars are worth less. So I would be eyeing between 30 to 50 billion market cap for some of these stocks. Do know market cap is a real thing. You can't just say, like so many stupid YouTubers out there do, that these stocks are going to 6,000 or whatever. It's unrealistic. It's not going to be worth more than Apple, Nvidia, and all that. But do keep an eye on the market cap, and that is the range I'm looking for, 30 to 50 billion. And I'd say that's profit taking area. The closer to 50 billion, the closer you're probably getting to a top. So just keep that in mind. Cypher's one I like a lot, and it looks like most people like that one compared to others. TeraWolf, so right here we are encountering resistance at the 618. If it does come back down, we're on the daily. Let's go to the weekly. If we come back down towards this 0.5 fib, 200 moving average, I want to see that get picked up as support instead of resistance where it came back down. If it's able to make this in support, that might be the last area for a good DCA opportunity. So you do see little red candle there. What's that on our buy sell signal? No sell signal yet, but if we do, we just want to see it hold in this $4 or $5 range. And if you really like Wolf and you're looking to DCA, I don't think that's the worst area. And obviously, again, if you like it here and it goes lower, then you need to be able to have strong enough conviction to buy more. So of course, have a budget. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Don't overextend yourself from your budget. But just know there's no guarantees. Support just holds and we go off. But I would be taking a look to get some more Wolf here myself personally. Let's go to Bit Digital. Bit Digital does have a weekly sell signal coming down off the 0.5. You can see 0.5 has rejected so many times. We have this channel. Didn't even get up to the upper end of that channel. And it is at 388 right now. Wick down to the 200. Maybe it comes down to the 200 week moving average. If it gets there or lower, if it gets to 317, I think Bit Digital looks like an even more discounted crypto mining stock asset. So those would be your discounted territories. It's just about getting there. And it has a sell signal. You can see sometimes sell signals typically take more than a couple weeks, but there have been times where it's just been bought up. But at the peak, maybe we are going to see a little bit more of a correction. Let's go over to Bitfarms. Bitfarms here. All right, another red doji. So right here, Bitfarms, I think this is fine at DCA territory. You have the 0.5 fib here at $1.95. So if you're looking for deals, and again, don't just buy because it's a weaker looking chart or more deep value. It's deep value for a reason. So there is that added risk and less of a guarantee, if you will. There are no guarantees, but less of a sure thing that this will go up like a Mara or a Ride or a CleanSpark, Cypher, etc. So it is at that discountish territory. This would be one I'd worry about if this was a local top for Bitcoin, breaking out further. And again, if you're going to buy it here, then you should love buying it here. So Bitfarms, at least one that's within discount range. But don't just buy it because it's at a discount. Buy it because you believe in it. Iris, maybe it's going to come back down to the trend line. It's left this trend line since the very bottom. If this is a local top, though, again, don't be surprised to see some of these trend lines break and for retail to be pissed off at crypto once again. But over here, the $8. Yeah, the whole $8 range would be discount range for IRN. As far as Core Scientific, what do we got here? Core Scientific came off that area. Want to see, drew a fib from the low to the high. See if it gets support off that 236. Last time when it made a local top, you can see it got down to the 382. So maybe we see a similar move. And if that was a local top, 382 at about 863. If you like it, not a lot of intel on this one because it is a newer mining stock. I don't touch new IPOs, altcoins within the first year or two just because they can be brutal falling knives and you could be buying the top. This is also one of the higher market cap ones, so just be careful with Core Scientific. I think something similar happened with Cypher last time. Let's go over to BitDeer. BitDeer above the 786, getting ready to possibly challenge former all-time highs. So we'll see if that happens for BitDeer. And if not, then you can see we have these higher lows coming, and you could draw a trend line here. Could come down to this $9 to $10 area right there. And as far as Hive Digital Technologies, okay, again, you can see where is it gotten rejected, this 200 moving average. Is it going to start closing with whole candle bodies above it and challenges 0.5? We'll see. But if it gets rejected, then you have the 382 here. This is the whole discount range, the 382 on down. This would be deeper value territory. And just as a bonus, NVIDIA earnings is coming out today, so want to see what NVIDIA is going to do. You can see it has a red doji, so if it were to sell off and not perform well after earnings, what is it like this 100-day moving average? And we have a fib here around the high 120s. If it got lower than that, then maybe 110 to 115. So just know if NVIDIA's not going to do well today or this weekend, or Friday through Friday, because obviously no stocks on the weekend, then that would probably affect the market because NVIDIA is just holding everything up. So sometimes stocks have been a leading indicator for crypto. And if that's the case, maybe we do see a little bit of a pullback. And then, even for Bitcoin, if it did pull back, I wouldn't freak out, if it got down to the low mid 80,000 range. But then you'd want to see pullbacks get bought up. So pullbacks, not the end of the world. It happens. But you want to see them get bought up and make higher lows. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Take care.